Hello and welcome to a wintry episode of Now Streaming. Today we're going to be reviewing The Giver 2014. I put the 2014 there because, well, I did because I think there's actually a book based on it. I don't know. So this review is going, and subsequent reviews on this channel are going to be the same way the Tales from the Borderlands review on Game Breaker was reviewed. It's just going to be a discussion. What I thought of the movie. It's going to be a regular review, but more relaxed. No rush. No. You get all the details that you want. So, let's get into The Giver. So first, I have to say what my experience with The Giver is. Well, the film. My experience with The Giver is I'd seen a few commercials, and honestly, this was a movie I subconsciously wanted to see, but never made it a point to say, hey, I want to go see that movie. So we rented it, and through Redbox, I had a free Redbox thing. I was like, ooh, The Giver is available, even though it's not available on Blu-ray or DVD yet, or digital. So I guess it's kind of streaming. So anyways, maybe I should come closer. But I just put it in my Xbox One and played it last night. So what is the premise of this movie? The premise of the movie is that there's a society that is all shenanigans stuff. Like shenanigans as in like, oh, you gotta use precise language. Oh, you gotta do this. You gotta do that. You gotta do this. And is devoid of emotion. And how the filmmaker achieves that is through black and white sepia. Well, not sepia. Black and white coloring. He changes the color mix every time it's these overruling society in play. And it actually affects quite a bit the psychology of the film. So that's the premise. So actors. You got Jeff Bridges, the guy from The Signal. A lot of unknowns are in this movie. Now there's like people like Katie Holmes, Jeff Bridges, people like that. Meryl Streep, I think. Not so sure about that one. But it's a good actor film because it lets the unknowns, like the guy from The Signal. I can't remember his name. I think it's like some really foreign name. Brandon Thwaites. Yeah, Brenton Thwaites. That's exactly how it looks. He's a relatively unknown. He's been in a lot of big movies this year. But yeah, I mean, the only movies I've seen him in other than this is The Signal. So, I kind of recognize him, but I actually thought he's Logan Lerman for a minute. But then you look at Logan Lerman as they're not the same people. So that's the actors list. It's a lot of unknowns in there, and they're all really great at their jobs. There's no corny acting here. The script. The script is actually very subtle. Because it's kind of like Interstellar, which I won't spoil too much. You can't talk about the plot of the movie without talking about certain things. It's spoilers territory. In fact, I pride myself on doing spoiler episodes and stuff like that. But the the plot is more symbolic than actually plot, because the plot's just like, okay, this society's repressive and all that stuff, and it does, the script really doesn't waste its time in getting to the actual action. However, I do think, I'll get into this later, but I do think the movie could have been half what it was. It really could have been half what it was. So now on to sound, which comprises sound mix and the score. So first up, sound mix. The sound mix is problematic at times. Because sometimes it's the dialogue or background music is too quiet, and other times it's really like blowing out my speakers on my TV. So that's an issue I have with the sound mix. But other than that, sound mixes are relatively good. As far as score goes, I didn't even notice it. Like there were some points where I actually did notice the score, and I've heard a lot of people say if you notice the score, it's not doing its job. That means it's bad. So I would say the score itself is also very so-so. You could go one way or the other on it. But me personally, I didn't like it because it just felt very just copying off of different action movies, and it didn't create an original sound for this movie. So I kind of have to deduct this. I have to take off some stuff for that. Let's see. Sound. Video quality or whatever. Photography. The photography is phenomenal. I really like that there's a lot of symbolism in the way the director shoots the movie. Especially in the oppressive society, everything's black and white, but you still see hints of colors. And then at 20 minutes into the movie, you see all color, and it's fantastic. Now we got to talk about length. I do feel like this movie could have been an hour easily. I felt like this could have been a very short film, because there was that one point where it gets to the narration, and I felt like it could have ended in the second act. It could have ended in the middle of the film, and it would have been fantastic. But then they decided to go even more. It's almost like a writing change happened there. That they wanted to end the film right there. But they're like, all right, we got to make a 2-hour movie. So they shove another hour into it, and it's like, by the time you're done, it's like, okay, this plot's really predictable, isn't it? It gets painful at the last hour. So, all in all, I think it is definitely a rent, maybe even a Netflix rental. And I don't mean disc rental. I mean Netflix instant rental. This is a good movie. I think everyone should see it. But the sound issues and just the way it's produced is not very good. So I would not recommend it right now. Now, if they made like a director's cut where they cut it in half, I would be able to support this movie fully. But the length and the sound mix are just too distracting. And the plot's not really all there yet. Especially in an era where we have so many oppressive governments movies. It feels, and to speak to that, it feels like a movie that could have been made a while ago. It doesn't feel like, oh, this is relevant. It just feels ham-fisted at times. Especially in the plot area. and the sound mix. So that has been Giver, a review on now streaming. And you know what to do. Subscribe, like, comment, and subscribe to all the socials.